Hi, I'm James Ward, a platform evangelist at Salesforce. I wanted to show you a little example application that shows how to use the new Heroku Connect APIs. So to get started, I'm just going to show you the app. It's running on Heroku at heroku-connect-status.herokuapp.com. And if you go there, you can try it out. First thing I'm going to do is log in. And when I do this, I'm logging into Heroku and OAuthing with Heroku so that that application, the one that I'm going to show you the code for and stuff, it can then make API calls to Heroku on your behalf. So it's asking me, are you sure you want to allow Heroku Connect status? And I'm going to say, yep. And now what it's going to do is list, we're back at Heroku Connect status app, and it's going to list my apps that I have in my Heroku account. I'm going to pick this Damp Ridge one here, and what it's telling me is that now Heroku Connect has not been provisioned for this app. So what this app does is it's going to tell us the status of Heroku Connect using the new Heroku Connect APIs, and you'll see that it's currently saying that Heroku Connect has not been provisioned. So let's go set it up. So I'm going to go into the Heroku dashboard and go add the Heroku Connect add-on, and I'm just going to pick the free demo edition there. And then I'm also going to add Heroku Postgres. Heroku Connect, if you're not familiar with it, it synchronizes Salesforce data into a Heroku Postgres database. Okay, so now that both of those add-ons have been added to this Damp Ridge app, now I can go in and set up Heroku Connect. So I just click on Heroku Connect here, and now I'll be able to walk through the setup for Heroku Connect. And as I do this, then we'll be able to get more information in the Heroku Connect status app, and then I'll show you a little bit of the code to show you how it actually works and uses the Heroku Connect APIs under the covers. So first thing I'm going to do is set up a new connection, and I can come in and specify, yep, that all looks right. Hit next. And with Heroku Connect, I set up a mapping between Salesforce and Heroku Postgres, so that'll be part of what I end up doing here. I'm gonna, but before that, I need to authorize a Salesforce user with Heroku Connect, and you'll see that Heroku Connect is using OAuth to do that authorization. So let's pick this user I'm logged in as, and it's saying, are you sure you want to allow Heroku Connect to do all that? And I'll say, yep. So now Heroku Connect can make API calls to Salesforce on my behalf. And now I can, let's actually, before we set up a mapping, go back to the status app and just refresh this page. And we'll see that now Heroku Connect has been set up. It's synchronizing this Damp Ridge application to Salesforce org with this ID. The state is idle and no mappings currently. So let's go create a mapping. And let's just do it on account, sounds good. Then I can select the fields that I want to synchronize over. There's some defaults there. Name looks good. Let's also do phone and website. Sure. Okay. So now Heroku Connect will be synchronizing the Salesforce data on the account object with Heroku Postgres table, named account. And you'll see that I get some status information here, but my little app also gets that status information. So if I refresh this page, then we'll see that I have a mapping for the S-object account. The state is data synced, and it's not actively writing. There is 14 Salesforce records, and there's also 14 in Postgres. And that's just a little bit of the information that we can get out of the APIs. Let's go check and make sure that this is all as we'd expect it. I'm going to go over to our accounts in Salesforce and then create a new account, and we'll make sure that that all works. So let's go, there's our accounts, and I'll create a new account here in Salesforce. And I think that's all I need. Let's hit save. So great, so I just created a new account in Salesforce. Let's go back to the status page, refresh it, and now we should see once it picks up that change, which depends on actually the settings on Heroku Connect, whether or not we've enabled real time. Let's go check out the Heroku Connect settings here for this mapping, and that's on our account. we can see that the current settings are that it pulls for changes every 10 minutes. So we'd have to hit refresh for a little while to be able to see that change. Or alternatively, I could change this setting to be real time or on a lower frequency. So let's see. Let's go find where that is. We can hit edit here. That's the right place. And now I can set the Salesforce to Heroku Postgres polling frequency, or I can say, let's listen for updates on the polling API. You can see we have that window of polling, but if we use the streaming API, they're real time. And then right now it's only a one-way sync from Salesforce to Postgres, but if we wanted Postgres changes to sync back to Salesforce, then we can click that, and now it'll be bidirectional. Okay, so now we're using the streaming API. We could also force a reload here, but let's go check back with the status page and see if it's picked up. Yep, so now we have 15 records in Salesforce, only 14 in Postgres. So now it should be synchronizing that data. And if we said pull now, then let's see if we can get it to synchronize that record. Yep, so now we've got it to synchronize that record over. Anyway, so that's a quick overview of this little demo application I built that uses the Heroku Connect APIs. Now let's go walk through a little bit of the source code so you can see just how simple it is to use these APIs. So I'm using for this project Play Framework and Scala, and those are just open source tools to build these types of web applications. I'm going to start here with a file called routes. Routes defines our HTTP endpoints in this web application, the one that I just showed you. So we'll see that slash goes to the index page, then slash status, and then an app name will go to the status page. There's logout, and then the OAuth callback, and a couple things for static assets. So if we go look back at that URL, you'll see that the URL to look at the status for this page is that slash status, and then the app name that we want to look at. So let's go just take a quick look at what's going on in that controller. So here's the Scala controller, and then in the status page we're making sure that the request is authenticated. We're going to the Heroku add-ons and we're checking to see if the Heroku Connect add-on is in fact there. So we're just checking for that from the list of add-ons on the app. If it's not there, then we just return a page that says, hey, no Heroku Connect was found. If Heroku Connect was there, then we use the Heroku Connect APIs to get information about the connections. So we get all the different connections. I only set up one connection on this one, but obviously you could have multiple. And then for each connection, we get the actual detailed status, and that's what actually we're seeing on that page. So let's go take a look at the Heroku util, and this is where I'm calling the Heroku Connect REST API to get that information. So here's the endpoint to get the list of add-ons, and that uses a default host of api.heroku.com there. And then on the Heroku Connect connections, here's where I'm actually calling the Heroku Connect APIs. So that's connect.heroku.com/API/v3/connections to give it my access token, and then on the query, give it the query string of the app name, do a get, and my JSON, the results back from that are in a JSON object named results, and that is a JS array. So that's how I get the list of connections. And then similarly, I do basically the same thing for Heroku Connect status to get the detailed status, but here I pass in a connection ID to get the details about a specific connection. So then the way that that's rendered, this is using a Scala and HTML templating language called Twirl. And here I'm saying, all right, do we have any statuses? Nope. Then the Heroku Connect add-on is present but not configured. And then for each status, we render the information about the status, which you saw on this page. So that's a pretty basic example to show you how you can use the Heroku Connect APIs to get information and manage the Heroku Connect APIs. Everything I did here was read only, but of course there are APIs to make changes to the Heroku Connect configuration through APIs as well. So I hope that helps. If you want to get started, there is some documentation about this on the Heroku Dev Center. If you just search for Heroku Connect API, then I'm sure that you'll find it. There it is. And that's all the information that you'll need to know for the Heroku Connect API. Thanks for watching.